Okay, we should be live now. Gonna get this bad boy set up, and then we can begin. One, two, three, four. Does the audio work? Yes, the audio does work. Okay. Gonna set this in Discord, and then we will get started. Okay, we should now be officially good. So the games we're going to be watching today are Bison Bucks and Falcons Panthers. Those are two good choices. Looks like we were going to watch Bison both weeks, but I guess that's not going to end up happening. Still two pretty solid matchups. We have not watched any of those teams yet this year, right? I don't think we've watched Atlanta. I know we haven't watched the other three, so we're seeing four new teams today. That's fun. What is going on, everybody? 20 minutes. I know, but I have a fair reasoning. So I was finishing a video on my Xbox, and it's kind of a long process of setting and plugging that all in, because usually my stuff is plugged into my PlayStation. So I figured it would be a better use of my time to, finish that, and then set everything up here, and we can now get started. So, Siri, give me a whole number between 1 and 2. 1. I think the Bison would be 1. Check for roster video for your rosters and the schemes or whatever you just set it at, because I know I made all of the scheme changes just now. Not fair. Learn to manage your time. Well, here's the problem with that. This is kind of an ongoing trend, so I'm not sure why this is some surprise. Although I do try to be quick, so it wasn't for a lack of effort. Alright, I know Ian is here. Pokemon is here as well, so both of you guys can pick your jerseys. Ian has a few more choices since, Madden's lazy with the relocation. I want to see what the all blue looks like. Oh, that's nice. I do like the orange pants, too. But this is also pretty damn clean, I'm not going to lie. 2024 conditional fourth for Lonnie Johnson. Wow, what a fun trade. All blue, good call. Creamsicle, oh boy. I guess that's probably the alternate classic. Yep. What a weird set of jersey combos we have today, but here we are. I've got to say, these creamsicles actually look kind of good in like the dreary weather, not going to lie. I'm going to plug in my backup controller real quick, so if you don't hear from me for 20 seconds, that's why. Okay, there we are. Oh dear, why am I using them? Okay, hold on. Let's fix this. I did not touch the controller there. I did not control Strawn. Is that Pierre Strawn? I didn't realize they had Pierre Strawn. Let's say mean things about him while he's gone. Oh. What is he did? I know it sounded like there was a hurricane back there. I was also trying to plug in my computer, and there was some stuff bumping around. So I should trade you Terry McLaurin for a bag of Doritos. How old is the bag of Doritos? That's how we'll figure out if it's a fair trade. That was a bad first throw. Can you trade me Scary Terry for, like, Tyler Boyd? You got any draft picks and or Doritos in there? (10-6) season. Well, it's kind of hard to do that when you play 17 games, so unless you're going to fit in a tie, and Madden doesn't like ties, which is ironic because in the past, Madden loved ties, and then they made an update, and then boom, there's, like, no ties. I feel like it was more fun than when there were ties, because that way everybody is upset about how their team did. A tie is just a nice way of saying you guys lost. You do have 3 firsts. Oh, well, Tyler Boyd in all 3 of them is probably where we would start. 15 years, you don't got 20? If it's 20 years, then maybe I'd be interested. But 15's not old enough. We gotta go 18 plus here. I like my Doritos like I like my... Alright, let's move on. So that drive lasted a grand total of 49 seconds, including the punt. Not an ideal first impression for Jeff Sims, who has been quite good this year. I will give him a lot of credit. He's been very impressive. Aziz Ojulari is hurt. That's not good. Myles Garrett for a Jabo and 50-year-old Doritos. Okay, now we're on to something. I'm giving away an X-Factor pass rusher, but I'm also getting one back. And I get to yell, "Oh, Jabo!" every time we lose by 20. Not a whole lot going so far here for the Bucs offense. Your team about to go 1-6. Well, you guys play us today, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. Third and 6. Derek Carr is about 20 seconds in the pocket. Lets it rip. That was nearly caught. Should have been caught. He had all that time to throw and did nothing with it. I want Kayvon Thibodeau. I'll give you my bench. What a totally fair trade. Like, your backups or your literal physical bench? Because if it's the benches at FedEx Field, that seems like a fleece. If it's a cool bench, then maybe there's something there. Defense is better than the Browns' defense. Damn. Is anyone controlling the Aviators? Yes, but he hasn't been online in a while. So the answer to that question might change by the time we start next season. But technically, yes. I already stole the FedEx Field benches. There you go. 3rd and 5, they choose to run it up the middle. Why? Lord knows why. What an odd call. Yeah, no, if you're trying to get anybody on the Aviators, at least this season, it's probably a waste of time. Does Malachi Moore even play? Because they have, like, I remember his strategy was just draft a bunch of defensive backs. So what does Malachi Moore provide for them? Anything? Other than, I guess, depth? Yeah, they have Jair, they have Gilmore, and I feel like they have somebody else at corner. And I know they have Eddie Jackson, too. They might have Minka. Do they have Minka? No, they don't have Minka. I don't remember who their strong safety is, but someone good. It might be Jesse Bates. I think it's one of those two. McDuffie was the 5th string on the Falcons. Jeez, poor guy getting wasted away. Giants have Minka. You're right about that. They do. Who is Jesse Bates? Is it the Steelers? I feel like they have Eddie Jackson and someone who's better than Eddie Jackson. With all due respect to Eddie Jackson. L'Jarius Sneed. Okay, so that's probably who they have in the slot ahead of Malachi Moore. Can you take one of their corners? I don't know. Can you physically drag them out of the facility? Deshaun Elliott. Okay, yeah. So Deshaun Elliott is better than Eddie Jackson because Deshaun Elliott plays for the good guys. Eddie Jackson plays for the bad guys. Who is A. Smith? I couldn't tell you. Thoughts on your deals for Dean and McDuffie? They were both quite good. I don't think they were fleeces, but the value could have warranted a fleece conversation in favor of you guys for both of them. Ooh, what a throw. Nice catch in the end zone for a touchdown. That's not who I think it is it? Is that E-Drop? I think it is. I'm surprised he didn't drop it. Thoughts on the Panthers draft? Pretty darn good. I had no expectations for them, and they surprisingly delivered. I thought they had a weird day 3 strategy, though. Just go for a bunch of freaks who aren't very good at football. I mean, if one of them pans out, then I guess it works out, but still, nonetheless, you picked the best player in the draft, and you made a nice move at QB. Although I think Sam Howell's a little bit better, but that's neither here nor there. Your 2 X-Factor pass rushers is a MAGA man and a Michigan man who now plays on the Ratbirds. What an odd combination. I mean, Ajaba's used to MAGA pass rushers. I think Aiden Hutchinson follows a bunch of Republican people on Instagram. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but food for thought. So the fit is natural with Ajabo. Going from Hutch to Bosa, it's the same thing. You're going from one Republican white guy on the other side of you to another. would have been drafted by you if Olave wasn't there. Well, you guys got awfully lucky that year, and you did capitalize. Might have to trade for Joey Bosa. Get Joey Bosa, get Hutchinson, just get the whole white pass-rushing Republican army. And a Jabo. Where's George Pickens? I have no idea. Was he even in the draft class? I feel like he had to have been. But I have no idea. I feel like I would know, but I wasn't really on the George Pickens hype train until like shortly after the Combine. And then everybody else hopped on the George Pickens hype train like a couple weeks later, but I guess I should say everybody but NFL GMs. Because they were sleeping. I don't know if you guys saw the photo of George Pickens when he got drafted. That's like A+ meme material. He looks like such a menace. But just look up George Pickens getting drafted like on Twitter or something. It is hilarious. Weather in PA is damn good. It was like 70 out there. 70 and sunny. And it's supposed to stay this way. Which I guess it should, considering it's May. But since last week was cold, you never know. Did you see Vrabel? I know Vrabel said he wasn't going to stay the head coach if he had to trade A.J. Brown like a month ago. But I didn't see any specific reaction. Was it, like, funny? Although, obviously, Vrabel had to have been in on it. So, imagine if John Robinson came up to him during the middle of the draft. He's like, hey, Mike, we just traded A.J. Brown to the Eagles. So, yeah, we have another pick now. Okay, what was that coverage? Again, cover 0 to a whole new level when 0 players are covered. Finally got to wear shorts to school. Imagine not wearing shorts year-round. Basketball practices. Who practices basketball outside, though? That just seems like a questionable idea. Playing basketball casually outside is one thing, but to have like a practice outside... He got up in the draft room and walked around pissed about it. That doesn't surprise me. We traded up to 15? Cool, what did we give up? Oh, nothing, just A.J. Brown. No biggie. But I feel like that trade had to have been made in advance. It's not like A.J. Brown could have negotiated a contract with the Eagles in 15 seconds. That trade had to have already happened. And I guess they waited till the draft just to make sure, with how the board played out, that it still made sense for both sides. Yes, I wear shorts in 20-degree weather. Oh, it's a fake! And it worked! Put it this way, I don't know how cold it would be here in Tampa, but even with the rain, even if it was 20 degrees, you'll see me in my fleece jacket and shorts, because I'm just a menace. My guy getting major... Oh, I've gotten used to it. It's been like that for a decade. So, at this point, I'm just cold-blooded, and I've just gotten used to it. So, it could be 20 outside, and I would be fine. It could be 20 outside, I could be dressed for 70, and I would feel good. Titans GM gave Howie 24 hours to get a deal done with A.J. Brown. So, I mean, I can't imagine they left Vrabel out of it. Vrabel's kind of an important piece to the puzzle there. So, practice a lot inside your college court, but outside is even better. I mean, I guess if the weather is like this, then I get it. But if it's like windy, that's like not basketball weather. It can be 30 outside, and I would be fine to play outside. But if it's windy or wet, wet's even worse than windy. I think Octi has a mental disorder. If it's negative 5 degrees, I would probably still, yeah. I mean, I don't own a pair of pants. Okay, that sounds really weird out of context, but, I mean, I could go through all my drawers. I don't own any. Thinks he lives in Texas when he lives in PA. Yeah, but I mean, it's not that bad up here. I mean, it's kind of bad, but not really. Especially now where it's going to be warm until November. Wind and rain make it cold. That, but also that's just not good for basketball because if you're dribbling it in wet, that's just horrible. And wind messes up your shot. So add it on the fact that it does make it colder. You are right about that. See? My Pennsylvanian brother wears shorts in the winter. See, it's a normal thing. I mean, it's not that normal, but... Try playing catcher in the pouring rain. I imagine that's probably not fun. I can't imagine being in all that catcher gear and it's pouring out. The Bucks could turn this game into a sim. I mean, the Bison have one loss, and they have looked bad. They have completely laid an egg. Alvin Kamara has negative rushing yards, I think. Yep, -1 right there. So there's only much Jeff Sims can do. On the flip side, the Bucks aren't even trying to run it. They're just airing it out, and it's working. Imagine if he goes to Alaska or Canada for vacation. He's wearing shorts at 20 degrees snow. I mean, I'd give it a shot. I don't know if I'd be outside longer than 5 minutes, but I think I could handle it. Bison is a fraud simulation. They're Mickey Mouse. The Bison are the reverse Beats. It's kind of true. I mean, it's only one game, so I don't want to jump the gun. But if this one game is a sign, then yes, they are the anti-Beats. Diablos versus Broncos looking real good right about now. I thought that was week 8. No, that was Diablos Chiefs. So I was right about the Diablos in NFC West. Team is yet to win when Robinson or Connor is not starting. So what? Are you guys not going to win for another 6 weeks? I guess that's how it's worked. Octi arrives in Canada. First person he sees is Spolk. First person I'd see being a menace. I would realize it's Spolk, which is why George Pickens is such a good fit for the Steelers. Because he's a menace, clearly. And Spolk is a menace. They're perfect for each other. Even wear shorts when Hurricane Sandy did. I probably did too, now that I think about it. Although that was a good, 10 years ago at this point. Last year's Diablos versus this year's Diablos. Last year's Diablos would kill them. Last year's in OFL 20. Well, I guess that would be the only last year, since last year in OFL 22 they didn't exist. Yeah, Spolk is from Canada. You didn't know that? That's why he likes all the Canadian teams except for the Steelers. The Steelers are close to Canada. Not as close as us. I don't know why he picked the Steelers over us. I guess because he doesn't like depression. Which, in that case, if that was his logic, then I don't blame him. What a dot! The Bucks have turned this into an all-out blowout. If I had to rate Canada out of 10, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Losing a full point for having Spolk as one of its citizens. You also got to dock a point for Boomy's sports takes. Because those are about as bad. It looked like he was in. Who is number 3? Is that Sky Moore? I don't know. I think he might have only gotten 1. This play, I think, is going to get reversed. Sky Moore, the future chief. Yeah, it is reversed. That's a right call. He was not in. He got 1. Boomy has the most mid sports takes. That's an insult to the word mid. Boomy's takes are worse than Oh, I thought that was intercepted! So Sky Moore gets a touchdown after all. How is that not picked off? That was right in his hands! What a wasted opportunity. And he could have returned that, too. There's a wide open hole. Look at this again. That's right in his hands. How did he not catch that? That play has been the definition of this game. This is just a total blowout. We don't sim in the first half, but if it stays 21-0 going into halftime, which it probably will, or even if the Bison score a field goal, this game will turn into a quick sim. We were in and out within like 20 minutes. Jeez. Pokemon out here talking about how his defense is better than mine. Not today. This Bison team does not look 6-1. They don't pass the eye test. And again, it's only one game, so I don't want to totally jump the gun, but they have not passed the eye test today. Not passing the eye test is generous. They've looked horrible today. What else am I supposed to say? We'll see if Jeff Sims can try to get anything going here. That's not going to help. Quick sack for Hassan Reddick. They're not going to call a timeout, so they're just going to let the clock run down. Bison right now. Stop the count, damn it! The Bison are losing, though, so why would they want to stop it? I guess since it's not more of a blowout? Wow, what an inspiring out route. That wasn't even complete. The Bison's defense is just a bunch of traffic cones. Yeah, this team's 6-1, and they have 1 offensive yard. They have 1 yard. They have 1 offensive yard, guys. They have 1 yard. Someone call 911. The Bison are an endangered species, and someone is murdering them clean alive. 1 offensive yard. That's... Well, at least they have more yards than points. Hey, there's Bears! At least they can say they have positive passing yards. Actually, I don't think they do, because I think the sack was 13 yards. So they don't have positive passing yards. Jesus Christ. 1 yard. That's horrible. I was excited. The second Bison game almost won the other week. I think that would be against the Tigers. If they're getting killed by the Bucks, who haven't been all that good in watch games, just imagine what Tom Brady, Nicole Hardman, and future Lions superstar Jameson Williams would do to them. I'm still tickled pink that Jameson Williams is on my team. I still don't know how that happened. After a solid 3 minutes of me thinking Malik Willis was my team's franchise quarterback. Okay, they do score. We will keep simming for a little bit. If the Bison can make a comeback, we'll hop back in. Okay. They get a stop. We'll sim out this drive. We'll see what happens. Jeez, they really are a sim team. Getting all their yards exclusively in the sim. Okay, I think this is where we hop back in. How do you think I feel about A.J. Brown being an Eagle? Probably similarly to how I feel about Jameson Williams being on my team. Although I guess A.J. Brown is a lot more proven than Jameson Williams. But we have not had an explosive, exciting receiver since '81. And that was a good 5 or 6 years ago. Imagine not having the kicker who bested Evan McPherson in the Fog Bowl. That's not... We shouldn't call it the Fog Bowl. That game is known as the Marco Wilson game. The Marco Wilson shoe game. That's an all-time classic moment. 17.5, clearly. So now that we're watching, the Bucs are going to ice this within like 2 minutes, right? Is that what's going to happen? Flag on Hobart College's very own Ali Marpet. Octi, that was not me, that was my chair. I was moving the arm thing for my chair. So, no. I know it's squeaky, but It's been almost a decade since a wide receiver on the Eagles had 1,000 yards. The last one was Jeremy Maclin in 2014. Jeesh. I mean, as bad as we've had it at wide receiver, I mean, at least in between Calvin and now, outside of last year, our receiving core was always good. I mean, that trio of Marvin, Golden Tate, and Galladay was good. The Eagles, it's just been sadness because Howie can't evaluate the wide receiver position to save his life. Remember when the Chiefs receiving core had no touchdowns for an entire season? And their wide receiver coach that year was, I think it was David Culley, which is ironic. It was funny that he got hired for a head coach when he was never a good coordinator. He wasn't even an offensive coordinator. He was a wide receivers coach. And before the Texans, he was in Baltimore. Their wide receiving core has sucked recently. Not this year, though, when Rashad Bateman gets 1,400 yards, but... Thoughts on the Marquis Brown trade? I thought it was a good move for them, and selfishly, I like it because, again, I get to push for Rashad Bateman agenda, which, as a Rashad Bateman truther, is pretty exciting. How he can't draft receiver and he only signed aging vets that weren't good anymore. Throwback to the days with Young Macklin and Deshaun Jackson and Riley Cooper. Who remembers Riley Cooper? That name is a real blast from the past. Rager better than Jefferson, obviously. The Vikings draft room laughing about that is an all-time funny draft moment. It's funny because all those guys were fired, pretty much, but point remains, that was still funny. Seahawks fan, and he said, "Who the hell is Boye Mafe?" Well, I guess he'll get to learn because he's on his team. Anyone remember? Victor Cruz was the man. Who didn't love Victor Cruz's salsa dances? That name is also a blast from the past. Although, unlike Riley Cooper, Victor Cruz was actually pretty good. Those Giants teams, the Cruz, Hakeem Nicks, and like rookie Odell Beckham, that was a fun receiving core. I don't know if those two in their primes were on the team when Odell was there, but I think their primes might have been a little bit before that. Because I'm pretty sure right when Odell came is when the injuries really started to hit Victor Cruz, and they kind of hit him pretty bad. Although I think he's doing well in retirement, but yeah, his fall from grace was quick. Who is in Oklahoma City's secondary? Even with the delay of game, again, no coverage. Jarvis Landry on the Dolphins was one of my favorites. That was a good one. Even though he's still a productive player and not on a roster. You know, now that I think about it, the Dolphins could use a wide receiver F3. Or more of a prototypical slot guy. So, I don't know. Just an idea. Bison don't let James Bradbury anymore. That's true. Yeah. Eek. Thought the Saints were close. But, what, they got second or third, I think, on one of them? Yeah, they lost out by one vote. Cedric Wilson, I forgot about him. You're right. Cedric Wilson's not that bad. Yeah, I think he got like 3 years, 22. You're right about that. So I guess Jarvis Landry wouldn't start in Miami. Anyone remember when Chris Sale was on the White Sox? White Sox, Chris Sale was nasty. He was nasty. Ripped a jersey to get out of Chicago. I vaguely remember that now. So the Creamsicle Bucks dominate the first half, and that was enough to win it, 21-14. Derek Carr was very good. Jeff Sims was very average. Desmond Ridder threw a touchdown. Alvin Kamara did not run it well. DeAndre Swift did. DeAndre Swift clears that fraud. Remember when Theodore Fox was in Tampa and Baltimore? What a guy. Only the OG members of the OFL remember Theodore Fox. What a guy. Whatever happened to that kid? I have not heard from him since, he was being a D then left. Alright, I guess it is sim time. Should you switch playbooks? I mean, your playbooks have worked in the sim, so I would probably stick with what you got for now and just see where it takes you. Time to lose. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling too. Alright, here we go. Week 7. We're starting with the Black Knights. They had a bye week. Oh, look at this! The Broncos beat the Diablos, so we now have no more undefeated teams as the Cancun Diablos take the L to check down Corral with 3 touchdown passes en route to victory. Baker Mayfield was fine. The Orioles almost got Corbin Burns and Ke'Bryan Hayes. Corbin Burns was in Pittsburgh? When was this? Did he start his career in Pittsburgh? The more you know. Remember when Orioles Manny Machado is definitely one of my favorite players. That Browns defense is still booty cheeks. Burns was Brewers. Oh, so like in a separate trade? I thought you meant Burns and Hayes together. I was like, what? Trevor Lawrence was pretty solid. Russell Wilson was not pretty solid. He threw 3 picks. Debo and Chase were good, so was Waddle. I guess nobody else played well for the Browns other than their wide receivers. Close one in Jacksonville, but the Jags keep on winning. They beat the Dolphins 35-31. Sam Howell and C.J. Stroud both played quite well. Derrick Henry is still in beast mode. He had 200 yards last week. Richie James, 1 catch, 69 yards. Nice. What a stud. This is a Richie James stat account. Did you have a bye week? Yeah, I think you guys did, yeah. A lot of bye weeks. Holy cow. The Washington football team collapses in full force. They lose to the Carolina Panthers 35-17. Bryce Young played quite well. We're going to see what Bryce Young can do in a watched game. Hopefully he's not like Jeff Sims. Oh yeah, I forgot Clyde Edwards-Helaire got hurt, so now they have J.D. McKissic as their starter. I think the Niners had a bye week. Otherwise, we would have gone over them. Oh no, they're next, and they lose to the Rams, 35-28. DJ Uiagalelei doing DJ Uiagalelei things. I've not seen his name once in a way too early 2023 mock draft, and I've got to say I'm pretty offended. Those things include like 8 different quarterbacks. I haven't seen his name once. Keep sleeping. Jordan Love was good, though. What is good, Crockett? You came at a good time because you guys just won. Although, again, 3.2 yards per carry. But a win's a win. 4 TFLs. Have yourself a game, Noah Sewell. 3 sacks for Gregory Rousseau. What is good, Eastmoo? Oh, and speaking of the Eastmoo, here are the Bats. They lose to the Giants 27-13. Wow. I take it that Mac Jones got hurt. Mitchell Trubisky came in. They both completed 69% of their passes. Huh. There you go. The Huskies lose to the Bears 20-6. So Chicago wins their second game of the season. How did you lose to the Giants? Money Mitch, 69%. Mac Jones, 69%. That's why. Kellen Mond outplayed Hector Estrada because Kellen Mond is better. Nobody ran the ball well. So it seems like this was a Kellen Mond carry job. 3 sacks for Chase Young, 2 for Devondre Campbell. Mac threw it away just like on the Hail Mary. The Jags are 5-2, and both of their losses were by 3 points. Good for them. The Jets beat the Pioneers. Hello. Okay. That's a surprise. Elijah Chisholm gets his first win of the year. Who could have seen this one coming? One of the bigger upsets of the year. Chase Winovich, 4 TFLs, 2 sacks for Kingsley Kiki. Lions in a bye week. Panthers won. Pats won. The Patriots are quietly 5-2. Oh, we've won 2 in a row. Really setting ourselves up for failure. The Ravens with a nice fourth quarter comeback, but it was not enough. Malik Willis, hello, sir. He was unbelievable. Justin Fields, 3 picks. Terry McLaurin, 2 touchdowns. He was very good. 5 TFLs for Jerry Tillery, of all people. Huh. That's interesting. Chidobe Awuzie with 2 picks. The Vikings are failing the tank. With how bad our division is, I think we're no longer in tank mode. Although now that I say that, we're going to win 7 games and we'll be a game out of the playoffs. A rare low-scoring game between 2 very high-octane offenses, but it is the Tigers who win it, 14-10. Tom Brady outperforms Trey Lance. Here to tell you, Marcos Santos Silva is the next great basketball-turned-football tight end. Yeah, he's going to have a lot of fun being tight end 5 for you guys. But good luck. Looks like the only guy who did anything today was Jamison Williams. Now that I have a Jamison Williams agenda to push, I'm going to push it hard. That's what she said. The Aviators beat the Shamrocks 28-17. What's good, Cookie? Jerome Diggs was technically the best quarterback today. Lamar Jackson and Carson Strong were both pretty even. Cookie's the new coach of the Shamrocks, by the way. Why is everybody coming in exactly when their game comes up? What an odd coincidence. First Crocker, then Ismu, and now Cookie. What are the chances? No Hawk slander in here. None at all. Did we go over everybody? The Wizards beat the Beats 38-31. A lot of offense. It looks like Mahomes got the best of Boatwell. Oh, hello, 5 touchdowns. Brady Boatwell was pretty solid, though. J.K. Dobbins in his revenge game ran it quite well. Kadarius Toney, not too bad. They have David Arnett and Kadarius Toney. Interesting. Totally not coming up with any ideas about something. All right, is that it? Who did we use? Or we used the Bucks. That's everybody. So we no longer have any undefeated teams. The only teams with 1 wins are Baltimore and London. AFC North is currently led by Columbus. They take first place with their win over the Shamrocks. The AFC South, one of the worst divisions last year, is one of the best this year. Everybody is over 500. New England comfortably leads the East. They should probably make it back into the playoffs in this division. Diablos still lead the West despite the loss. The NFC North is going to be awful. Beautifully awful. Saints lead the South in a pretty tight race with Atlanta and Carolina. Boston leads the East, but still close. Seattle, half a game above the Rams. Let's see the players of the week. DJ Uiagalelei, Derrick Henry, Chase Young, and Deion Jones. Are you on pace for 1K? let's see. We're going to talk about the award races and stuff after the stream here. 51. No, but you're not that far off. Looks like you're on pace for probably 860, 870. So, if you have a really good game in there or two, it's possible. So the second game we have here today is... which one is it again? Oh, the Falcons and the Panthers. That's right. Siri, give me a whole number between 1 and 2. 1. That would be Atlanta. I don't know if Bubba's in here, but if he is, you guys can pick your jerseys. We'll go over all the stats at the end of the day. Because I do want to start talking a little bit about the award races, because I haven't done that yet. Alright, I disconnected the other controller. I don't think we're going to need both here. Where are the Vicks? Okay, so the options we got, we can do all white. We can do the gradient. We can do black. I imagine there's an all red in here somewhere. Or we could do the throwback jerseys, a.k.a. those aren't it. It's probably this one. Yeah, these ones. These are the Michael Vicks. I don't think... Oh, Bubba is here. Okay, so Bubba can pick the jerseys he wants. So do you want to wear the throwback jerseys? You can do all black, regular, all white, regular, or the gradient. I don't think there's an all red option here. I guess not. Maybe in the color rush? Oh, there are the Vicks. Okay. You don't care about jerseys. Okay, so that means everybody else can pick. Do we want gradient, white, black, or Michael Vick? I see a lot of Vic. What is this? This looks like pajamas. Why would an NFL team wear a black helmet with a white jersey and red bottoms? This literally looks like a pair of pajamas. Okay, all I see here is Vicks, so we'll rock with the Michael Vicks. Apparently, Bubba, these guys really like the Michael Vick jerseys, and I had no idea they did, but here we are. So we get to look at the second overall pick, Bryce Young, future Lion in real life, leading the Carolina Panthers here. He's been pretty good, and the Panthers have certainly taken a step up with the addition of Bryce Young, just like the Lions will next year with Bryce Young. So Atlanta will open up on offense. We'll get to see Aaron Rodgers. Don't start that. You guys are going to get Will Levis, and you're going to enjoy him. Will Levis is pretty good. He's a Seahawk? No. They like Drew Lock. They probably don't, but... Bryce Young playing for... What is this Matt Corral slander? Yeah, the Eagles are going to win 10 games. There you go. No Bryce Young for them. The Dolphins are going to be too good, so they can't use all their picks to trade up, so the only team that can will be us. And Bryce Young and Jameson Williams will get to shred NFL defenses like they did in the SEC. And it's going to be glorious. Atlanta's offense has plenty of talented skill position players. They have Miles Sanders, Chris Godwin, Mike Gesicki. I feel like there's someone else who's really good who I'm forgetting about. We can go undefeated, and I still... What if Jalen Hurts wins MVP? What if Jalen Hurts wins MVP, leads you guys to a Super Bowl, better than the 72 Dolphins, yada, yada, yada. Who's the X Factor? Probably Rodgers. Is there another X Factor they have? Does Godwin have an X Factor? Carolina's defense does. That's probably Fred Warner. Yeah, they have Fred Warner, I think. No, they don't have Fred Warner. That would be Jesse Bates. Fred Warner's on Toronto. Lions go for the strategy of double the offense, half the defense. Our defense is looking pretty good, though. I mean, there's some pieces. For wide receiver, that would definitely be Chris Godwin. I don't know who else would have the X Factor on this team. Yeah, Chris Godwin wears 14. 3rd and 5. I think this is the first time we've watched Carolina in OFL 22 with Carolina not being a trash dump. So that should be fun. Panthers still refuse to trade me Jeremy Chin. Well, Husker used a pretty high pick on him, so... Could you, bench Fields? Who's your backup? I mean, Justin Fields hasn't even... I don't think he's been that bad. I know he threw the 3 interceptions, which is not ideal, but I genuinely don't think he's been that bad. He has 2 safeties better? Yeah, but Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's a perfect nickel corner. Jeremy Chin can also play sub-linebacker, so Huskers guys who complement each other's skills very well and can play all around the field. Yeah, I don't think Fields is... Baltimore is weird because I feel like there's not a clear issue. They just happen to allow a lot of points. So I don't think it's a matter of anything you're doing wrong. I just think you guys are not getting lucky and losing games. Madden Sim, it's not necessarily who builds the best team. It's a large part of that. Generally, the better teams are good, but it's not always the case. Because we know how spontaneous this game is. Yeah, the Shamrocks are pretty good. You guys have Tony Pollard. I feel like the Shamrocks have one of the good white receivers. I don't know which one. You guys have DeMarcus Lawrence. He's really good. And you got a few other guys. The Shamrocks made the OFL Bowl last year, so... You think I should make a quarterback next OFL? Maybe. I mean, gotta hope Madden likes you next year. Although I think after the stream today, I probably will have a poll relating to your ratings. Because I feel like it would be a lot more fun if you averaged more than 3.1 yards per carry. The upcoming OFL draft would be 2024. So 2024 is the next set of picks, and you can also obviously trade 2025 picks. Oh, we've got a nuke! From Bryce Young, it's incomplete. That was a nice throw. Or at least it was a deep throw. No matter how good I build my teams, it always manages to somehow turn the absolute worst case scenario. See, exactly. Did someone get hurt? Almost looks like someone got hurt. Jordan Brooks is hurt. There's an injury. Kind of the big one. Jordan Brooks is a good player. It's not... I mean, playbooks can play a part in it, but I feel like people just make playbooks the scapegoat when that isn't really true. You can manipulate stats with playbooks in a way, but I don't know. I don't think certain playbooks help your team win. Like, I like using the pass-happy playbooks because those help your quarterback's stats, which help them progress, which helps you win in the long term. But I don't know if playbooks help you win in the short term. I don't think switching it is going to automatically make anybody's team really good. So I feel like sometimes people get the false impression that playbooks can totally flip your team around when that probably isn't really the case. There are plenty of passing playbooks, but I don't know how much that leads to wins. I just know that leads to good stats for the quarterback. With the Bills, I had not scored over 10 in the last 2 games. Combined, you switched and bam, 31. I mean, that could be a coincidence, or it could mean something. I don't know. It could absolutely mean something, but it could also just be a total coincidence. I think your team will find ways to lose anyway, though your team is just cursed. I feel like half the league is cursed. I don't know. I feel like it can't totally be a curse if everybody is cursed. The Shamrocks were originally the Bengals. So you guys started as the Bengals, and you were moved to Dublin and became the Shamrocks. So you were originally Cincinnati. First game you had after switching to the air raid, Russ played like prime SEC Joe Burrow and Cam Newton combined. It could be a coincidence or it could mean something. But the stats generally change. Then he turned into Jameis Winston today. I think your comparison is Aaron Jones. I can see that. I mean, you guys are both big, bruising backs who can be very productive as receivers, so I can kind of see that. Good deflection in the end zone. That was a nice pass. But the defensive back saves the touchdown. Field goal is good. Falcons lead 6-0. Was that kicker number 99? It looked like he was a double-digit number. Like a big double-digit number. How's Mexico City 6-1? Because they're good. I feel like they drafted in order to do well in the sim, and here we are. They're 6-1. They're doing well in the sim. If he caught that, I would have nutted. That would have been an unbelievable catch. But Carolina has some good defensive backs. The problem is their offense has done nothing today. I don't think they have a single first down. Not a whole lot from McKissick. And we haven't seen anything yet from Bryce Young. Well, that was a hit. No first down for you, Carolina. They had 3. Well, it feels like they have none. Are we detecting another fraudulent football team, just like the Bison? I don't think Fields is the full problem. So Atlanta has it back, looking to further the lead even more. They've had the ball twice. They've scored twice, but they haven't found the end zone yet. If I had to... I don't know if there's like a clear finger to point. I don't think there's like a clear definitive answer of this is the problem. Good run. Yeah, when the defense is allowing 45 points per game, I wouldn't call the quarterback a problem. But the issue is the defense has talent. So it's not necessarily to say the defense on paper at least sucks. So that's why I'm not easily saying the defense is the problem. I know who I'm pointing the finger at. EA Sports. Rodgers checking it down out of bounds is making the game slow. Sometimes the checkdowns can be a little bit too much. Which is why I appreciate a good yeet. This is week 8. We already passed week 7. You guys ended up beating the Saints 14-10. I think it was like 14-10. I know it was low scoring. They're so close to the end zone. They can literally taste it. And there you go. There's the touchdown for Mike Gesicki. So that will put the Falcons up 13-0. Yeah. So Atlanta's certainly looking the part. The Falcons have done well in watched games in the past. And we haven't seen Carolina often in watched games, so far Atlanta's passing the eye test. Oh, a strip sack! Ooh, that was close. That was very close. Sad that you've been a coach for your day and you memorize. I mean, I wouldn't say that's sad. That means you're excited to see what your team can do. So I don't think that's bad. We have probably like a good month left. We always end later than everybody, but we also start later. So just like how the first game was a total blowout, this game could be trending towards sim territory as well. Big injury that Octi doesn't see. Again, right when I'm looking down and not looking at the screen, for those who are new, whenever I'm looking down, something important happens. It's always like that. I don't know why. If Madden 23 were to suck so bad it's unplayable and we'd have to go back to a previous Madden, which one would you pick? Madden 20 is probably the choice, yeah. I feel like Madden 20 sliders were probably the best. So if I had to pick, I would probably agree with you there. There's a slim chance I go to the same school as your cousin. Huh. That would be a plot twist and a half. Yeah, the OFL 20... Some of those OFL 20 games were something. And I won 3 rings that year, so that was especially fun. Early flag. You were a wide receiver on the Seahawks. I forgot about that. Now that you say that, though, I'm pretty sure you're right. I totally forgot about that. That was when everybody could, like, create as many players as they wanted for the draft classes, players or coach. OFL 20 was the most arcadic, chaotic gameplay ever, and it was glorious. Yeah, I think we're going to say the rookie devs for the next stream. I don't know if I said last stream if we're doing it today or the following one, but since we're going through the award stuff today, or I guess we're starting that process, we'll do rookie devs next time. Big sack for the big defensive tackle. I don't know who that is, but he made a nice play. I know they have DeForest Buckner, but that was not Buck. Fedarian Mathis, the newly drafted Washington Commie. The only thing about OFL 20 was the fact that the same... Yeah, the only problem with OFL 20 was the parity. Although, again, my team was doing a lot of the winning, so I'm not going to cry about it. If one of your rookies doesn't get an award, I'm going to cry. I guess that's what happens when you have, like, 7 of them. This is week 8. Yeah, we did week 7 prior. Meant to type 8. Are you sure about that? Yeah, that was when it was the Patriots and the Niners. Every year, pretty much. But it was always super exciting throughout the regular season and the playoffs. It's just that the same teams always won. I think New England made it every year, and we made it 3 of the 5 years and won all 3 times. And when we didn't win the OFL Bowl, it was New England. Yes, I had a dynasty with the Niners in OFL 20. You've got some big shoes to fill, buddy, because they were kind of irrelevant in OFL 21. Not to the fault of Husker, but those teams just weren't all that great. How did Hector do in Week 7? Not very good. Octi's low-key pretty good at the "are you sure about that" phrase. I am pretty good about that now that you say it. Are the Ravens historically bad? Now that you say it, they kind of are. Last year with Boomy, I don't think they ever made the playoffs. The year before is when they had Theo. And I don't remember them being good then. So now that you say that, yeah, the Ravens have never been good. And, like, I don't know. I don't remember how good they were in OFL 19. That was too long ago for me to remember. But they've never historically been good. Were the Bengals good in the past OFLs? Last year I know they had Lamar Jackson. Last year I remember they were kind of irrelevant. OFL 20, I feel like I remember them being half decent, but nothing like spectacular. So it's a curse. It might be a curse. Very well could be. Carolina only kicks a field goal. They were close. I feel like they should have gone for it. They try to make it a one-score game. What's the point of being overly conservative there? Alpo, Octi, and me just fleeced everybody to build up super teams, but it was only Alpo and I who actually won. OFL 20 is why we had the trade voting system in. You aren't an OG if you weren't here when the OFL was on Twitch. The real OGs were here when I put OFL on the main channel. That's like the real OG stuff. Then it was on Twitch for a really short time. And then since, I guess, pretty early into OFL 21, I think, is when I moved it here. Because I'm pretty sure like the OFL 21 Fantasy Draft was on Twitch. But then I think I moved it early on here, and that's where it's been since. Every year we've changed channels for the OFL. I don't think we're going to change it this year, but we have every other year, so who knows? Can we have the same teams 2 years in a row? Normally I've discouraged that, but I've also never had a rule against it. So, I mean, I'm not going to get towards the team selection progress until we start OFL 23, which is obviously a long ways away. The OGs remember that Octi is a GOAT. True that! Yeah, I like changing each year. I personally, I wouldn't want to be the same team every year, but I also get the argument for being the same team every year, that you kind of build a legacy with them. But I always like to switch. And I have not thought about who I'm going to use in OFL 23, and I don't plan on thinking about it until at the earliest, like, maybe July. I remember last year people were talking about the OFL Fantasy Draft and which teams they were going to be in, like, March. Thinking about a return to the desert, clearly washed without them. I mean, regardless if you have been in Arizona or not, the Cardinals have always been the team who's, like, good, but can't take the next step. The Green Bay Packers are the OFL, minus the fact that I don't absolutely hate their guts. Started thinking about OFL 23 when my team sucked. I mean, we still got 3.5 seasons to go here, guys. Let's call it plus the long-term sim. Yeah, this is the first year I was the Vikings. Last year I was the Diablos. The year before I was the Saints. No, the year before I was the Niners, and the first year I was the Saints. So this is the first year I've used the Vikings. Some people have used the same team. Some people like me have changed it every year. And some teams are sort of in the middle. Started thinking about OFL 23 when 22 started. I'm thinking about OFL 29 right now, guys. I think I'm going to make my first pick Probably some middle schooler. Nice touchdown for, who's 81? That looks like a tight end. I couldn't tell the last name on the jersey. Am I ever going to change the OFL logo? I don't know. Maybe. We'll keep the door open. I saw the play at the end. Thinking about OFL 69. It was Gerald Everett. Okay, I thought this team had Gerald Everett, but I wasn't 100% sure. My TV's at an angle because my desk isn't like right across from my TV. So sometimes it's kind of harder for me to see the names because it's all like at an angle. Oh, geez, remember when you guys had Cam Newton? I remember that. You guys had a QB factory like the Eagles. Thinking about the day my teams are consistent. Last year you guys were consistent. Consistently losing in the NFC Championship, but consistent. Stop talking about the Eagles QB factory. Oh, I can't wait for when Carson Strong is the Week 1 starter in 2023. That's going to be fun. Remember when your team had Myles Garrett, Snacks Harrison, Grady Jarrett, and Aaron Donald? That was pretty good. Wasn't as good as mine. We had Khalil Mack. Who else did we have on that defensive line? I feel bad for not remembering. I know we had Kuechly and Harrison Smith, who were total cheat codes, but they're not defensive linemen. I had Okuda that year. He was really good. I don't remember who I had on the defensive line with Khalil Mack, though. Oh, geez, remember Hector Estrada Sr. What a guy. That would have been an OFL 20. When the Cardinals always got second place in the NFC West. Remember when Jordan Love got superstar and then threw 19 picks? The fact that you can't remember... Hold on, let me go back to an old roster video. This was a while ago. If I see it, I would remember it. I feel like I had one of the Boses. But now I feel like that's not true. Hold on. I'll remember it when I see it. Wow, I've got a lot of scrolling to do. Holy cow. Can you force win me my games every week? Does somebody else want to answer that for me? Because, I don't feel like answering it. OFL 20 preseason year 5 rosters. Here we go. Just passed by Andrew Luck. What a blast from the past. All right, who we got? Oh, Dalvin Tomlinson, Javon Kinlaw, Bilal Nichols. My defensive line wasn't that good. It was the rest of my defense. I had Kuechly, Devin White, Troy Dye was really good. Okuda, Harrison Smith, Jabril Peppers. Yeah, that defense was nice. Khalil Mack kind of carried the D-line, but everybody else was good enough. Oh, the Panthers have a chance to win the game here. Falcons are going to win. That's how Madden works. Since it's a Hector take, that means Carolina's going to win now. Isn't that how it works? Hot take, I'm going to beat the Jets. The Jets have 2 wins, though. I wouldn't call that a full-on hot take. 3rd and 8, incomplete. So Carolina's drive goes nowhere. They'll have to punt it. Who do the Huskies play this week? I have no idea. See if they pop up on the bottom. If they don't, that means they probably have a bye week. Oh, there they are. They play London. You guys should probably win. Bobby Wagner's the best defensive player in OFL history. Would I agree? He's up there. He's up there. Does Octi have a player? No, I'm a coach. Simcast Huskies game. With all due respect, I don't think I'm going to do that. Kind of creates. So the rule for players is if you have a coach, you can't be a player. So you can pick one or the other. So if you want to be a coach, you can be a coach. I know you said you wanted to use your Dublin. Or you can make a player. So it's one rather than both. Do superstar devs have X Factors? If they're an X Factor, they do. If they're just a regular superstar, no. OFL 22, Emmanuel Ogba is in the conversation. I don't think he's like quite at the level of like OFL 20 Bobby Wagner. For those who were here, he was pretty damn good. But OFL 22 Ogba's a beast. We'll put it that way. Oh, we're at the 2-minute mark. We're already at the 2 clock timeout stage of the game. Yeah, whenever Bobby Wagner got a hit stick, the ball was out. He forced 2 to 3 fumbles a game. Per watched game, not per every game. That would be insane. He would have 40 fumbles forced a year. Although Harrison Smith was pretty close. Has anybody broken the sack record other than Emmanuel Ogba this year in OFL history? I have no idea. I would assume somebody's had to have. I think that probably does it. That looks like a first down. OFL 21 Miles Jack, with all due respect, does not have anything on Bobby Wagner. He was good, but Bobby Wagner was different. All right, so the Falcons are going to pull it off in a close one, 13-10. Both quarterbacks were fine. Neither of them were great, but they were both good enough. OFL 21 Isaiah Thomas was the most iconic cornerback, and not for the right reasons. With all due respect, because Madden didn't really like him. 16 tackles, that's a lot. 2 sacks for Bradley Chubb. All right, it is now sim time. If the Minnesota Vikings win another game this week, I don't know what I'm going to do. The process, if you want to be a player instead of being a coach, there's a create a player tab, and there's a template you can follow, and your player is entered into the next draft class, and then he joins a team. I could use an OFL 20 Bobby Wagner right about now. All right, let's get the show on the road. The Washington football team won a game after Week 7, probably for the first time ever. They beat the Bats 31-25. Dak was blah. Herbert was also blah. Niners in a bye week. The Giants put up a goose egg. Who started at quarterback? Was it Money Mitch? No, it was Mac. So Mac was healthy. Mac played. He didn't play well, but he played. Who's the greatest OFL coach of all time? My biased answer would be me. My unbiased answer would probably also be me. I don't think anyone can really argue that. I've got the bling. Oh, my dear God! 45-3 against the worst team in the league. Hector, you've got some explaining to do here, bud. You guys lost 45-3 against the worst team in the league. Good God. We're going to go through all the stats once we get through the scores. Hello, Aaron Jones. That's something. So the Huskies are pretty bad. 5 sacks allowed by Eric Fisher. Pretty bad. Hello, Aaron Donald. And Kenny Mays had 3 as well. Just a light 10 sacks. No, I can't count. That's 8. I thought those other 2 players were for London also. At least he didn't lose 45-3 against the Black Knights. Jags in a bye week. Jets. Oh! They went up 49. Who's making final 2 tonight? This guy. Elijah Chisholm, 5 touchdowns. Brady Boatwell, 3 picks. Nice passer rating, though. Scotty Miller and Brian Edwards were both very good. Bears keep it close. They took it to overtime, but they do lose to Detroit 27-21. Both quarterbacks were kind of eh. What was that bold prediction? The Panthers obviously lost. We saw that. New England wins again. They beat the Dolphins 22-16. Trevor Lawrence was not great, but he was better than Sam Howell. What is happening in Salt Lake City? The Pioneers have lost 4 of their last 5. The only game they won went in overtime, I think. Matt Corral with a damn good stream. 3 touchdowns, no picks in both games. Look at him go. Check down Corral's really making a name for himself in Denver. Good for him. Guess who has their first? The Rams win again. They beat the Cardinals 20-10. So this Rams team is legitimately good. What happened here? I guess DJ got hurt. Case Keenum played in, and he played better than DJ and Tua. All 3 of your firsts are teams under 500. You thought last year's Niners draft class was good. This one's going to be nuts. You guys lost 20-10. Again, why is everybody coming in exactly when their team shows up? That's such a coincidence. 24-35, much of the same in Baltimore. The offense scores a lot. The defense allows even more. Lamar Jackson was very good. Justin Fields was fine. So I guess this game proves the point that Justin Fields is not the problem, but there are problems in Baltimore. Okay, then. What is this? 45-16. Okay, so Malik Willis must have saw me negotiating a trade involving him, and he decided to go off today. This is the lower of his 2 passer ratings today. I think he incompleted 1 pass. Okay, I think it's fair to say Malik Willis is probably going to stay as my quarterback. In case I was second-guessing it, I'm not anymore. Oh, my Lord. Have yourself a stream, Malik. Jesus Christ. I think we're over another interception for Chidobe Awuzie. We saw that one. We saw that one. The Bison lose to the Tigers. Rough stream for Oklahoma City. They still are 5-3. But Hector owns Malik Willis. Yeah, but Malik Willis also happens to be better, so. Jameson Williams. The Jameson Williams agenda certainly appreciates it. The Vikings obviously won. We're literally over 500. How did that happen? The Wizards lose to the Bucks 42-21. Good stream today for Tampa Bay. Derek Carr outplays Patrick Mahomes. DeAndre Swift, 4 touchdowns. The DeAndre Swift agenda also approves. Devontae Adams and Christian Kirk with over 100 apiece. $42-16, a big win here for Cleveland. Cleveland owns the Aviators. They put up 35 in the second half. Russell Wilson didn't even play all that well. I guess they had to have run the ball super well. Yeah. Yeah, they did. Javonte Williams was very good. Kylan Hill had a 69-yard run. Nice. Javonte had a 99-yard run. Pretty good. Although that would mean the rest of his game, he had like 10 carries for 33 yards. Still, a 99-yard run's pretty cool. So pretty much Columbus's run defense is made of Swiss cheese. Verone McKinley! The Verone McKinley agenda approves. All my guys are doing well. And Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah had a pick. All my guys are doing well. We covered that one, right? Yeah, we did. Who do we use her again? Ooh, the Diablos lose again! What is happening in Cancun? Gardner Minshew. Did Nick Foles also get injured? What in the world? So the Chiefs have their third-string quarterback play, and he won. I guess Gardner Minshew's pretty goated. Huh. Okay. So what happened to Nick Foles? The Chiefs have Josh Allen, but Josh Allen's hurt. And apparently Nick Foles is also hurt. So, I don't know what to say there. All right, that covers everyone. Standings. Nobody has one loss. Ravens are the only team with one win. So the AFC North, the Aviators and Shamrocks are outside for first. Cleveland's only a game back. The Jaguars, without playing, take the lead in the South. The Tigers have now won 4 in a row, though. New England still has a commanding lead on the East. The Diablos still lead the West, despite their 2 losses today. The Lions lead the North, but Minnesota's right on their tail, winners of 3 in a row. Atlanta on top of the South with their win over Carolina. Washington is now in first place of the East. And Seattle still leads the West by half a game. I must have showed the year stats for the Dolphin game at the beginning, but all I remember is C.J. Stroud played really well. I think he threw 4 touchdowns. And Derrick Henry played really well again, too. Derrick Henry might be an MVP candidate. He has been a machine this year. Chandler Jones, hamstring tear. That's new. He's out 6 weeks. Austin Eckler, foot fracture. He's out 4. Okay, then. Christian McCaffrey, torn labrum. So that's why Travis Etienne played. Allen Robinson, partial MCL tear. Now Dearness Johnson is hurt. So if you're a running back and you play on the Brooklyn Beats, you're guaranteed to get injured. That's some bad luck. Every running back who plays for them gets hurt. You only got another 4 weeks without Connor and Bijan Robinson, though. Is Smith healthy? Let's see. Azeez Ojulari broke his ribs. That happened in a watch game. Nick Bosa, foot fracture. He's out 4 weeks. A lot of injuries today. Jesus Christ. Devontae Smith is still out 2 weeks, so he will not be healthy past the trade deadline. Josh Allen only has 1 more week. I thought Nick Foles was for backup. What happened with that? And that's everyone. Wow, quite a few major injuries. Week 9, I'm not sure yet, but I'll figure that out. Before we wrap up today, I do want to look at the stats around the league, start figuring out... Oh, I guess we can do scheduling now, too. Since I accidentally clicked schedule. We'll look at the weeks 9 and 10 schedule, and then we'll do stats. And then that'll wrap it up here. I'm not going through rosters because there's a roster video. All right, let's go to the top. We play week 9. Now that the Vikings are actually good again, that game's probably going to go on the bowl. Definitely. We'll sort by passer rating. Let's do that. Gardner Minshew isn't first. Oh, that's yards per game. I'm dumb. There we go. So one starter. Oh, look who's in first by a landslide. Interesting. Okay. Elijah Chisholm's in second. He doesn't count because he hasn't won anything. So I guess Malik Willis is a legitimate MVP candidate, especially if we keep winning games. I was talking about trading him this morning. Now he's an MVP. What is happening? Lamar is having a great year. Mahomes is right up there. Trevor Lawrence, maybe. I feel like there hasn't been any, clear MVP. No one's been, elite. There's Tua. He only has one pick. But there hasn't been any quarterback who's been wow, that guy's really good this year. Statistically, of these quarterbacks, it's got to be Mahomes or Willis, right? Maybe Dak. Ooh, Dak's having a good year. But if you look at the completion percentage, I know it might be a little bit biased, but statistically speaking, I feel like Malik Willis is the MVP right now. Although when we flip to running back, I might change my answer because I know Derrick Henry's been really good. Yeah. Derrick Henry is averaging 125 yards per game. He has 12 touchdowns. You know what? Derrick Henry's probably the MVP over Malik. I'm sorry. I don't normally like to give it to running backs, but in a year where there's no clear QB, and Derrick Henry's doing that, Terry McLaurin leads the league in yards and catches. Huh. That pleasantly surprises me. This is yards. Yeah, I would say Derrick Henry's probably 1, Malik Willis is 2. And then touchdowns is Henry Ruggs. So as a team, we own the receiving triple crown, but we don't own all of the stats. Well, not one player. Henry Ruggs go fast in more ways than one. That was a mean joke, I'm sorry. Who's allowed the most sacks? This is going to be fun. Eric Fisher's allowed 18 in 7 games. Good God. We'll do by conference for defense. TFL's is Nick Bosa. Chris Jones leads the AFC in sacks. His teammate Jadeveon Clowney right behind him, followed by Clark, Watt, Allen, Barrett, Bosa. Interceptions 4 for Byron Jones. A number of players have 2. And then fumbles. 2 forced by Duggar and Owusu Karamoa. Nobody has more than 1 recovery. How is Eric Fisher the first overall pick? Because nobody deserved to be the first overall pick. That's kind of like how it was this year. In real life. Bad QB class, not top heavy, but super deep. The best players in that class weren't even first round picks. Except for DeAndre Hopkins, but he got busted for the roids today. So he doesn't even technically count anymore. Emmanuel Ogbah with 11 sacks leads the NFC. Oh, that's the whole league. I went just the NFC. Myles Garrett with 10, Hunter, Za'Darius, Mack, Quinnen, Chubb, and Buckner, not too far behind. 4 interceptions for Adoree Jackson, Eric Stokes, and Chidobe Awuzie. 3 picks for Christian Fulton. 2 fumbles forced by Miles Jack and Marcus Peters. Jack leads the way with 2 recoveries. A little mad we let you get Hutch. Yeah, but I'm not complaining. But Trent Baalke, he's quite the guy. Is anybody perfect on all their kicks? We've got Chase Palmer, Chris Blewett, ironic, Harrison Butker, Greg Zuerlein, Gordon Knight, Tyler Bass, and Brandon McManus. Who's punted it the most? The Aviators. Who's punted it the least? The Saints. Why does that not surprise me? The Bats have the highest average. The lowest average goes to the Bears, who somehow has a worse average than a quarterback. What are his ratings? 61 and 54. Youch. All right, who's the favorite for MVP? I think they're going to give it to Mahomes. Derrick Henry. I agree. I can't disagree with that. Derrick Henry's been the best player in the league this year. And his team is damn good. Pepper Jack, Coach of the Year, I don't see an issue with that. He got his quarterback, C.J. Stroud, and now they're really good. So if all holds up, he's going to definitely be a good candidate. Derrick Henry, AFC Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year is Kenny Clark. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jeff Sims, ahead of Stroud. I would say these two are pretty even, so I don't have a major argument. Both quarterbacks are really winning games. This is a fun Offensive Rookie of the Year race with Sims, Stroud, DJ, and Bryce Young. All of them have been good. All of them have ascended their teams, but none of them are like a clear favorite. Brian Brzee is the favorite for Defensive Rookie of the Year. How is Garrett in the... Was he? Hold on. We'll check that in a second. Was Garrett actually in the top 10 when his team has literally gotten worse and had one win 2 hours ago? Verone McKinley, second. Nice. I don't think he would have been in the top 10 if he didn't have 2 interceptions this week, but I'm not complaining. Dak over Malik. I don't have a major issue with that because Dak has been really good. He's only thrown 1 pick. Defensive Player of the Year, again, Emmanuel Ogbah. That's probably correct. Offensive Rookie of the Year, they currently have Bryce ahead of DJ. Interesting. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Nate Lamb. Niners with the top 2. Dak Prescott, best quarterback. Best running back, Kareem Hunt. Wide receiver, Terry McLaurin with Henry Ruggs in second. Cool beans. Chidobe Awuzie. Hold on, I didn't go through all the DBs. There we go. Okay, so why is Jack Fox only in 10th? The disrespect. All right, let's go back here. He's in 7th? I assumed he would have been at the bottom. How is Garrett in 7th? His team made the playoffs last year, and now this year they had 1 win 2 hours ago. How on earth is he in 7th place? Huh, okay. Odd, but whatever. So, I guess that'll wrap it up. Weeks 7 and 8 in the books. Weeks 9 and 10. Or, wait, I might just want to do week 9. I'm not sure. Because of the trade deadline and stuff. I'll have that all figured out. But, yeah, that'll wrap up the stream here. Hope everybody enjoyed. Peace out.